everybody. Okay, we are live, starting my live video podcast, as I like to call it. Interviewing today a very good friend of mine, Melissa Musman, and I'm going to have her join us right now. Fun stuff. Thanks for joining us today. She should be hopping on any minute. I love doing this. I have to. There she is. Woo!
Hello.
Hi, Melissa. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. So I
Move back a little bit, so I'm not.
I know, right? Whenever that happens, you're like, "Ooh, my screen just got really small."
It was much bigger than I anticipated.
Yeah, move back. Oh, that's so great.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness, I'm so glad. This was such a last minute thing. These happen to me all the time. Like, you know what? I'm gonna go live today. You're like, woohoo!
My hair looks good. Right, I'm in the mood.
Right? I know. You gotta be in the mood, but it's fun. But I love that. Yeah. So I can't wait to hear about your background. I know a lot of it, but I want my audience to learn a little bit more about you and how we met, and just I love networking with people like this. So I'm going to get right into it, and we're just gonna. This is not scripted. We're just gonna, go by the seat of our pants, and we'll see how long it goes. So if we're having fun, we're just going to keep talking. So I know that yes, you're a mom of daughters, and you just got a new puppy, and you started as a lawyer, and I kind of want to know how that all began for you. What made you even become a lawyer to begin with, and kind of start us off there?
Yeah. So, I think that like many lawyers, we don't always know that we're going to be a lawyer. It's not a default, but I was always a good writer, and I was someone who liked school. Like, anyone who goes to graduate school has to know that they want to do something beyond college. But I was always a good writer, so I was always attracted to law. But yet, funny enough, when I started practicing, and I was a up getting exposed to like transactional work, which is more like corporate real estate, things like deal oriented, and ended up doing not litigation. So I ended up practicing for about 5 years, 4 of which were at a very large law firm in New York City, and worked like crazy hours around the clock, pretty much the entire time I was there. And then went to a boutique firm, and then ultimately decided that I wanted something more people oriented and less document oriented. And being a deal lawyer was more people oriented for me, because when you're closing deals, it's definitely more people focused, but I liked collaborating with people on a daily basis. So I then realized a lot of lawyers were going into being recruiters, and spoke to actually one of my good friends at the time, had left my law firm and started being a recruiter. And back then, not many lawyers were recruiters yet. It was like really the beginning of professionals going into the field, as opposed to just people who had more of a sales background without the legal degree. And I went into it and really liked it. And that I've been doing for about 25 years. So it's been a really long time. And it turned out to be a great blessing for me, because I got to raise my girls while being a recruiter. And it was much easier. It's like the business with Rodan and Fields, it is when you need to take a break, you can, because it's a sales position. And so I'm paid for my sales, not my time. So I don't feel bad if I'm taking time off to do something with my daughter or for myself or whatever it is. But I'm also a self-motivated person. So, I'm able to sort of juggle that a little bit. But so I've been a recruiter for a long time, and I really like it right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say I have a common background as you too, because before I had kids, I was a recruiter for the IT industry. So I get it. And you have such a great personality. I can see why you're so successful in that, because it's really about talking to people and asking questions and, trying to find the best fit for them. So I can see why you'd want to be more on the people side of the business.
Yeah, and I get to use some of my legals, because I like you must have I like the advocating. I mean, in legal, you know, but yeah, asking a lot of questions and really sort of a little bit like a therapist, right? You know, sort of
Yeah.
helping someone figure out, especially with something as large as a job. So it's been really nice.
No,
Yeah, so
that's
I've
awesome.
been doing that.
And then
Yeah.
what's so funny is, so you and I have a common interest too in LBI. So we met last
Common
summer at the,
obsession.
yes, I
More
know,
than
exactly.
interest.
I'm counting down the days until
Oh,
Memorial Day weekend,
100%.
right? Very fortunate to be able to spend the summers down there. And you know, we both belong to this LBI girlfriends group, which is how we met. We went to this evening concert on the park, and we immediately hit it off because we both were dancing in the fields. Right. I mean, like, hello, this is great. Yeah. And then I asked if you like karaoke.
Right. And I kept falling asleep. I was so impressed by you because the karaoke kept starting at 9, and I'm like, you know, after being in the sun and doing some work and playing pickleball and my yoga, I was like half asleep by 9. So I'm impressed that you made it. Next summer, I'm going with you, though. I'm definitely going to make it to karaoke next summer.
Oh, yes. Trust me, this old fart. I mean, I can't believe I had to sing once at 11 o'clock at night. It was my turn to go on stage. I'm like, how am I going to do this? But you know what?
How you stayed awake.
I found the energy, and then afterwards I collapsed. No?
Exactly.
But it's all fun. So yeah, so that was great. So then we developed this friendship on Facebook.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And I mean, then finally you saw what I was doing. Yes, I have a business. On the side, I'm Rodan & Fields consultant, so I help people with skin and hair. And I know I post a lot, and I just like to share a lot of before and after photos. And is that what ultimately led you to reach out to me?
Well, so it was, but when we were at that concert and dancing, and I know I've mentioned this to you before, that you know, I am in my mid-50s, and I, you know that I wanted to care about my skin moving forward with the fine lines and some sunspots and things like that. And I'm a chicken, and you know, anyone could do whatever is comfortable for them, right? And I really am not a judgmental person at all. But for me, I'm just very scared to do things like surgery or Botox or things like that. It really just comes more from fear. But I do want to do something. And when, you know, and I really thought you were like a good, at least 10 to 15 years younger than me. And, you know, so when you told me that, you're like, no, I'm not in my 40s. I'm, you know, I just turned 50 or 51, whatever 51, it was. 51, yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. I was sort of shocked. And I was like, you know, just like the Harry Met Sally, I want what she has. So, I'll take what she's doing.
I want what she's having.
Exactly. So,
and then the rest.
So that's really what did it. Is I really had not figured out what I wanted to do, and it just sort of fell in my lap, and it just became easy. And then I'm also a bargain shopper, so once you said to me I would get the best discount as a consultant, it just made sense because I really wanted to try various products,
right?
And that's even before the hair. So for me, it wasn't just, you know, the fine lines. It was, my eyebrows were barely in. My lashes are very light. It was like a couple of, you know, I didn't really have like a face wash routine yet. So I figured that was the best way to really make it more affordable for me too.
Yeah, and I think it was so great that you agreed to have a Zoom conversation with me, because I really like to be a consultant and say, let's walk through everything together. Because if I can share my screen and show you all of the options and how everything's going to benefit you, and then present, you know what, at the end, if this is something that you might consider doing fun on the side. And I remember you telling me, you know what, I'm about to buy like $700 worth of products for myself. I really feel like I'm at the point in my life where I want to do something fun for me. And I said, that's kind of what we are. We're such a fun community, and why not help other people if you can feel good about themselves with their skin. And you're like, you know what, I'm going to try this. Let me just join as a consultant. And the rest has been history. I mean, you have been literally a top leader in our team, because and I want you to just share kind of how you work all these businesses together, because you're a very, very busy person. And you've hit all of our fast start bonuses and, you know, achieving other rewards. And I was just impressed too by how quickly you got up and running. How did you go about doing that when you first started?
Well, I mean, well, so I did have some sales background. I mean, I have many years of sales background. For me, it was fun reaching out not just to lawyers, nothing against any lawyers on here. I'm a lawyer too. But it was fun being able to, also have products that I could talk to people that weren't just, of the same background. So I enjoyed that. But I think doing some of the events has been really helpful. I really do like throwing the events, and sometimes people come and just try and it doesn't work out, and sometimes it works out later. But I think like you said, you have to not be nervous to sort of say, talk about the product, which was very similar to when I became a recruiter. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember that the first time you get on the phone and you're pitching a job to someone, you have to get over the nervousness and recognize that, if someone says no, that's okay. But that, I've been shocked actually that many of the people that ended up buying were not necessarily the people I thought would at all, and the opposite. And that's actually happened more than I thought it would. There's some people I really thought would be more interested in the products and they're not. And some people I thought not even close, and then they ended up being like big customers. So you really never know what someone might be interested in. If you don't talk about it a little bit, then they will, there's no way for them to learn about it.
Right. And I think that's why I like doing the face-to-face conversations.
Yeah.
I mean, even in recruiting, when I was first a recruiter, we weren't meeting our applicants.
Mm-hmm.
And as I became more seasoned in my position, I would request, I'm like, you know what, I want to go meet this person I'm trying to represent, because then I can best understand what they're looking for. And when I'm talking to a company, I can really explain what their strengths are and why they need to at least interview them. And I'll never forget, one of my proudest moment as a recruiter was because I had this relationship with this one candidate. We met, I knew everything about him, and I was able to sell him into this company. This company on paper did not want to interview him. I'm like, I'm telling you, you're making a mistake. Don't go by that. And I went over all the positive things. I drove to that company, to the hiring manager, and I spoke to him, and I said, I will bet my reputation on this guy. You have to see him. I'm telling you, if once you do, you will hire him. Do you know what? They said, okay. I said, if you don't like him, you don't have to work with me again. That's how much but it's because I met him, and sure enough, they loved him, they hired him, and they thanked me. And I try to bring that practice into what I do every day, still as a recruiter, but even just helping with people. Face-to-face conversations is like, let's talk. Tell me about what you're, and then I can, in our business, obviously, I could see their skin, I could see their hair, and I can make further recommendations, even though we have that, the quiz that the doctors develop that kind of takes all the guesswork out of it for us, right? On our websites, you take the skin and hair quiz. We start with that. Let's go over all those recommendations. And then, oh, by the way, I'm going to help you make some other recommendations too.
And I also felt like, yes, I love that too. And I felt like the 60-day guarantee made me more comfortable selling to people I knew.
Right.
So, because if they really didn't like the product, they had the option to return it. And I let them know they really could.
Right.
And so I felt like I wasn't just, constantly selling and there was no way to stand behind the product. Right. And so I really like that a lot too.
And I've been doing this for 4.5 years, and I say what did it for me too, why I'm so passionate, is because these products really help me.
Right.
They've helped my skin. My skin was rough, dull, wrinkly beforehand, and I was on a search for a good skincare routine too, because I didn't have one.
Yep.
And that's what led me here. And then when I was presented with the business, I said, oh, really? There's an opportunity here that I could work from home around my family, which is what I wanted. Because I didn't want to go back to corporate America. Like, you have that flexibility. I didn't want to go back to recruiting at the time either. I'm kind of getting back to that now because it's in my blood. So I always try, like I did with you, is to present the opportunity from day one, because it's not my job to decide if somebody wants to do this or not, or would benefit from an extra stream of income, or would benefit from the community. Like, the community is one of my favorite things. I've built lifelong friends from this business, and you're one of them. We can't wait to go to convention this year. Woo, big party. Mom party. But I think there's just so much more to it than maybe some people realize. That is more than just selling a product. I don't feel like I'm selling
confidence, right? I mean, like with anything else, I do feel you know, I mean, it's superficial in one way because it's your looks, but that is the face we present to the world. So everyone, you know, feels that they want to look their best, and that's just part of life. And, you know, so I feel the same way is, you know, when I can do something that, you know, makes someone feel like slowly over time that they can change this or that, and it's pretty safe and it's by doctors and it's guaranteed. So, I agree. I think it's been nice, and the hair products have been something I've been very excited about because for me, um, I have very thin. We have the exact opposite, right?
Opposite.
So we're like people. We're like actually proponents for the two different lines. Although I use some of the products in the line you use because I love them. But for me, I would have to wash my hair every day, and it just, you know, looked very flat. And so for me, now I wash my hair every 3 days, which is like huge. I mean, I'm 55. I've never ever skipped a day washing my hair because it was so oily and gross. So, you know, I really love that the hair products I think are amazing, and everyone I actually have been selling to love these products. Love,
Yeah.
love, love.
And I was so excited too because do you know how many bottles of my other shampoo and styling treatments I sold for the other woman that developed that brand because we didn't have our own? And now when they announced we're into hair, we have a curl cream and Smooth Life for Frizz, and I was like, what? So now literally wherever I go, everyone's like, oh my God, your hair looks amazing. What are you using?
I think that the curl cream has to be renamed. I'm telling you, I know how to write to the doctors. It needs to be renamed styling cream because I have no curl and I use it every single day before I blow dry my hair. So
I'm so glad you mentioned that. Here, I have one right here. This is it. This is the
oh yeah, that's it.
This is the best styling cream for
awesome.
Straight and curly hair, and it's a heat protectant too.
Well, the heat protectant's good because for someone like me, I really do blow dry my hair when I wash it. So the heat protectant's great because I don't use a diffuser like you do. So for me, it's actually really helpful. But yeah, I love the hair. So that was something I obviously didn't know about going into when I became a consultant. So now I feel like I can, you know, if someone's not interested in skin, they want to do hair, or, you know, at least you have different products, which is becoming more of like a full service, you know, one-stop shop kind of
thing. Self-care at home. So I have to share this other story that I even just learned about our Chief Global Sales Officer, Laura Beitler. And I thought of you immediately when I heard her story. So she was recruited by our CEO back in 2021 from Mary Kay. But she went over how she kind of got into this business. And she started when she was 17. She was babysitting for a young girl, 9-year-old girl, and the father of that girl was a lawyer for Mary Kay. So Laura ended up going through school, going to law school, and she became a lawyer. And sure enough, a position opened up for Mary Kay. And she applied and she got the job. So she now is on the legal team at Mary Kay.
Oh. Okay.
Worked her way through the company, but she ended up gravitating towards sales. And there's working with the sales team, and then she ends up developing all of their reward programs and their compensation plans. And that was her first intro into sales. And she worked there for 21 years with Mary Kay. So it made sense that when our company is looking to expand, because, you know, and she said, you know, Mary Kay did wonderful things. She had that business for 60 years and they went into so many different markets. They really ran out of growth. So the opportunity for her coming here, knowing that they were going into hair care, we didn't know it at the time.
Right.
And having the opportunity to be a part of another growth and expansion, she accepted the job here with us as our Chief Global Sales Officer. So, and she has done wonderful things for our company too, in developing all new programs for us. And we are totally rewarded and recognized.
I love these programs.
Right?
Well, I'm wearing my new On Cloud sneakers and that I got with my Nordstrom's gift card. I didn't feel guilty about the price at all because it was on Rodan and Field.
That's right. Absolutely. And we have so many milestones to hit. And I'm going to Mexico in a couple weeks for that trip, which I'm really excited about. And what's great too is anyone at any level can earn these prizes. It doesn't matter how long you've been with the company. Everyone has the same opportunity.
Yep.
Just a matter of what you want to do with it. So I just love sharing that story because I don't even think a lot of people even know that about her or that, you know, where she came from. So I just think that's a great thing. So what are some of the things that surprised you the most about, you know, being a consultant on the side of your other full-time jobs? What do you think? What would you say to people?
Well, I think like what I said before a little bit, that I have been very surprised about who's been interested. It was really finding clients were sometimes in very unexpected places. And I just, like, I was at Nordstrom's and buying my sneakers, actually. And I was just, the woman who was helping was really sweet. And she's definitely older than me by a reasonable amount. And she's, you know, again, sort of did to me what I did to you. And she's like, you know, how old are you?
See?
And so she's taken the quiz and we're going to like talk about, you know, what she wants to get. And so, you know, I just happened to say, oh, you know, just started up the conversation and, you know, it was just an unlikely, but because you can pull it out at your fingertips, you know, if you're just talking to anybody. Yeah. And now because we have phones, you know, and everything and internet on your phones, you really can, if someone needs to, you know, wants to give you their contact information, or you can send them the quiz right there, all that kind of stuff makes it very easy. And, you know, I think that building up, which I was better at, which I'm going to get back to starting with today, about the presence on the internet. So I think that, you know, I don't have to do that much. You and I have talked about for legal recruiting. It's just a different way that I source my candidates, obviously. And so for this, it's been more just about people getting to know me, and whether it's about Rodan and Fields or about my new puppy or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's them getting to know me a little bit and who I am, and watching if my hair changes or skincare just by seeing me post things. So it was also getting out of my comfort zone and doing a little bit more social media, which is not something I did a lot of, to be honest.
Yeah, that was for me too. So when I was 47, when I was a week before my 47th birthday, when I became a consultant, I knew nothing about Instagram. I'm like, what is that? I had to reteach myself something. So you're never too old to start something new, and which is what I love about life in general. Like, never hold back. If there's something you want to do, just do it, because you're not going to know. You say, what if, right? Failing forward. And you're not going to know unless you jump in and try it. So I'm always up for starting new things. And this was a big surprise for me. I didn't realize really. I mean, initially I was just running for the skincare and the discount, and like, all right, I can earn extra money. Hello, I would love that. And it just snowballed, and I became like, wow, this is fun. I love helping other people.
It's very fun. That's what I like about it. Yes.
Yeah, and it's not work to me. This is not a job. This is a lifestyle. And like you said too, I have samples on me wherever I go. So, you know, the nail place I shared, whenever I get my hair done, if I'm shopping somewhere, you know, anywhere I go, I can really share about the brand. And my son too benefits from these because of our teen acne line, and he tells his friends, and my husband uses these products and hasn't seen the dermatologist, thankfully, because they're helping his skin so much. It's a lifestyle brand. It's for men, women, teens. It's not, I mean, it helps
with rosacea. I have like people who've spoken to me about rosacea who haven't had luck, you know, with their dermatologist, or and I think it also helps where, like, I just sold a regimen to someone who had been on the Proactive. So, you know, the fact that these doctors come from Proactive, a lot of people know that name.
Right.
And that also helps. So there's a little familiarity with who these people are. And she wasn't that familiar with Rodan Fields, but I had been using Proactive, and then she just started the adult acne line, and she's really happy with it, and said that's actually less, it's like that combination of self-care plus helping the acne, as opposed to Proactive, which is more used like a dermatologist might use just, you know, to specifically be like a medicine, so to speak.
Yeah.
So, so that's also gives a little bit of an angle, which I like too. And the credentials of the doctors that started it and how successful they've been have been helpful too, I think.
It makes sense that they went into hair care because it treats the scalp. So their skin on your scalp, and they're really treating the scalp is what really promotes healthier hair from root to tip, and that's what it's all about. So I think I'm excited even to see what they have in the pipeline to come, because they're committed to developing 2 new products every year. So there's always something fun and new to talk about. But this business has, I love the people I have met in this business. I think that's one of the, from all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Australia, Canada, not even just the US. But that's great. So now, yeah, so we're looking forward to getting together in the summer and going to karaoke.
Well, hopefully before then, because I still have the gift from the dinner that got canceled for you that I got you for being such a good mentor.
And I have a gift for you that you won. I still have it. So, all right, we're planning
let's get together once before the summer.
Let's do a couple weeks. Let's put it, when we're done, we're going to set a day in the calendar. We're going to get together for dinner.
That's good.
We'll get some other friends to come with us too. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
We'll have a little party.
Yeah.
But this is something new I'm going to start asking people, and hopefully you get the reference. But what would you say is your Jerry Maguire song moment in the car? And do you know what I'm talking about?
Like one that hypes you up?
So when Jerry Maguire's in the car because he just got that sale, or he got his client, and he's looking for a song to sing, nothing comes on, and all of a sudden, Tom Petty comes on,
this is my song right now, at least.
Yeah.
It's the one that Rihanna just Bring On the Lights, All the Lights by Rihanna. I've been like using that as a hype up song. So I would say All the Lights, or whatever the exact name of the song is by Rihanna.
There you go.
That's been my hype up song.
Okay. So I'll make sure I have that queued up the next time we're together.
Okay.
Mine, I think, is Goodbye to You. Do you remember that song by Scandal? Oh my God, it's so old.
I know it,
yes.
Even though I can't think of it, by the name of the song. Yes.
Well, I will spare my listeners, and I will not sing.
Well, you have a good voice. You do karaoke.
Although
you can give us a couple belts if you
maybe
want.
I should. You'll catch me singing in ShopRite too. I don't know. I'll just go anywhere and start singing. And what's your favorite color?
My favorite color is definitely all different shades of blue. Yes, all the different shades of from a turquoise to a light blue. It's just all different. I find it very soothing.
Good.
Yes.
Mine's orange.
I know, and you'll see that I know that one from the gift that I bought you.
Oh, you're so sweet.
In December, but it's still sitting here, but it does involve some orange.
Well, then we're gonna hang up now, and we're gonna set a date to get together. Well, all right. This was so much fun.
It was.
So thank you for joining me today, and continued success in all you do.
Thank you.
And thanks for being on this team as well. I'm so glad we met, and that the beach and fun and bands brought us together. You never know what's going to do it.
Exactly.
So lots of good stuff. So if anyone out there has any questions and you want to learn more about what we discussed, reach out to us. We'd be happy to share. And until next time, have a wonderful rest of your day.
Bye.
Bye, Melissa.
Bye.